Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nightmare, and welcome to a video about Phantom Seer. I recently caught up to it about 5 days ago. Phantom Seer is a Shonen Jump manga that is basically a cash grab for Jujutsu Kaisen, I'd say, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually pretty good, pretty grounded, and has a lot of room to grow. And I think it can flourish pretty well as characters are pretty interesting right now, and they're setting a lot of groundwork for what's to come. And this main villain that they're teasing and building up, especially with the release of the 20th chapter, they're building up this kind of squad of villains, like looking over the protagonists. I'd say that the protagonists are pretty strong. Iori is pretty good, pretty nice morals, and a goal that seems good. And by good, I mean like grounded and makes sense, especially when you read the manga and you see why he wants what he wants. And Riku, she's also a pretty good character, as she also has same morals, but Riku is, so an overview of the story. Basically, the story is Riku is this girl who Riku is basically a girl who can sense, like, has like a sixth sense for danger, right? So she can feel something's coming, and you see that she helps her friend out of the way of a blast or something. And you learn later on that it's not her just sensing the things, it's her sensing it, but it's also her attracting it. And you get an official name for what she is later on in the manga. So she meets this boy named Iori, and he's assigned to protect her and vanquish what's following her, basically. And we learned that he's called a shaman, and a shaman's basically a jujutsu sorcerer, a demon slayer, or whatever they are in Soul Eater. And so you get these two characters, and they're basically paired up from now on. And at the end of the chapter, Iori's sister, which is basically just the strongest sorcerer, the Gojo of this universe, I'd say, says you're stuck to her now, and and gives like the classic, like, oh, you two are going to be basically stuck together for the rest of the series, and you'll see these characters grow together throughout the rest of the series. Basically just the good old excuse of watch these characters grow together, and they're going to be stuck together. And that's basically an overview of the story. But it's like, I'd say it's a lot like Jujutsu Kaisen, of course, and Soul Eater. As you read more into it, I'd say you see why it's like Soul Eater for like their base. It's like a lot like the Soul Eater school or whatever. I haven't watched Soul Eater in a while, so I don't know terms and stuff. So, but, and then of course like Jujutsu Kaisen, which with the the phantoms and stuff like that, and just everything in general is like a lot like Jujutsu Kaisen, but that doesn't mean it's like a total ripoff. Iori's a pretty good character, Riku's a pretty good character, and I feel like within the next couple chapters they'll flourish well, and these characters will grow into great characters, and the story will kind of grow better, because right now the story it's developing good. Like the first couple chapters are just basically like, here's a story about them exercising a demon, wow. And it's kind of just setting groundwork for the characters and setting groundwork for the story, getting you used to what they'll be fighting, how the characters operate, etc., etc. And so kind of just using these little couple chapters to get you introduced to these characters, so on and so forth. But then you meet, like, I'd say, like, what looks like the main villain, and it's very interesting because, like, then you get more character development for Iori, and you see Riku do something really cool with her ability, mastering it pretty quick for other of her kind. But you basically just get introduced to a bunch of characters, a bunch of villains, a bunch of stuff. And so far, so good. I feel like if it's given the right amount of time, it will flourish well, as I already said. But also, the artwork is incredible. The artwork is really, really good. Each panel is well drawn, and there's solo panels, like, with no text or nothing, that are just the greatest, dude. They're so good. And the way they shade things, where they draw everything, it's so good. Very great artwork, I'd say. There's really no flaws with the series. I'd say it's very solid. It just needs room to grow, and I feel like within these next couple chapters, it will grow well and grow into a manga that will sell well and reach more people. Because right now, I don't see a lot of people talking about it, even as much hype is around Jujutsu Kaisen. Nobody's really talking about Phantom Seer, which I feel like by chapter 40, there'd be a lot of talk around it, as I feel like some stuff would have happened, and it would have grown more, and yada yada, as I already said before. But I feel like this will grow well and will go places, because you've got very interesting characters that are progressing, and very interesting scenarios that are pulling up. And especially with this recent arc with the counselor. If you read the recent arc, I'd say it's like a mini arc. It was only about like 4 chapters, I'd say, if I remember correctly. There's only about like 4 chapters. You get this interesting concept, and like something's happened to this girl, and she gets turned into turned into like a half phantom. But the reason behind it is pretty cool. So, okay, all in all, just read the manga. It's 20 chapters right now, as of recording on the 30th. It's only 20 chapters. They're weekly, 16 pages. Expect 16 to 18 pages. And you can just read it. I'd say it'd take you like 2 hours to catch up. It's not that hard. And it's overall a really fun read. It'll satisfy you. It'll give you what you need. Give you like that, oh, nice. And I feel like it'd be nice to come back weekly and see how much this progresses. But I'd say give it a shot, read it, and I think everyone can enjoy it. Just a nice manga, easygoing. It's just very easy to comprehend, to grasp, and it'll grow well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.